out of the literal 600 whatever pages this book was, I most vividly remember the fact that they have chess. Nothing else happened, but I caught on to that.
No, like literally out of everything that stuck out to me.
Yeah, literally.
I don't even know what part you're talking about though.
I could literally say it. I
Okay, say
remember
it right
exactly
now.
what it was.
Say it.
It was when they arrived on the second island, which was
I don't remember any of the names.
I think it was oh my goodness, the knowledge god, whatever. The second island, and Violet said, "Oh, Naira," I think the girl's name was like Naira was giving Mira a look that as if it was she wanted like she was a chess opponent or something. I totally botched that, but like it was weird. Like, whoa, chess opponent? What?
Hannah's a chess girly right now. She's in her
I'm in my
chess
chess
era.
era. But I caught on to that quick.
Yeah.
So
that is, I guess, a memorable moment.
it was for me.
For me, a memorable moment was at the very, like, not at the very beginning, but every time they talk about like their flight goggles, I just think of the crazy tan they be getting.
Like the goggle lines. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
no, like their flight lines are that's so embarrassing. You would not find me wearing goggles. No, I like the way I envision it is like if you had a swim goggle stand.
No. Or when she's
Anywho.
like, my goggles were fogging up.
They need like car windshield wipers.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be great.
Anyway,
we should write into Rebecca and say, hey, you need to improve their quality of life.
Yeah. Quality of life. Oh my gosh. Well, whatever.
Anyways, yeah.
We have so much to get into today.
Yeah.
So welcome to today's episode.
Yeah. Welcome to Check This Book Out podcast. I'm Madeline, dissatisfied fan.
And I'm Hannah Book Out, audiobook supporter. And we have a loaded episode today. But welcome to a podcast where we talk everything fantasy and romance. Heavy on the fantasy today. But today's going to be a book debrief episode.
Yep. We're doing a deep dive.
Yes, we are.
And
it's not
honestly, it's going to be probably, not spoiler free, probably going to be utter chaos. We haven't put much thought into like structuring this episode because Hannah literally just finished it 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
Just two girls and
we're taking you books. Yeah, we're taking you guys to Yap City today.
Yap City. Welcome.
So, yeah.
One short day in Yap City.
I was like, where are you going with that? The Emerald City?
Yep.
Speaking of emeralds. Oh. All right, guys, let's hop into this.
That's the Easter egg for this episode. Okay.
Yeah. Hop in your comfy reading chair.
Yeah. Grab your
daggers and
your daggers.
your
runes.
And let's check this book out.
I
feel like we should start off with our ratings.
Okay, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. 3. Like you're genuine, like half stars or whatever.
Yeah.
Not just like Goodreads.
Yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1.
2.5.
Yep.
We are the same. I kind of like when I was putting in my rating, I kind of thought to myself, Hannah's probably gonna have the same as I am. And I will as I said, Hannah and I have not discussed this almost at all.
Yeah.
So
I've sent Madeline a few texts like, blah, or this happened.
Yeah.
Or like just like one word, but yeah, we haven't discussed. So this is gonna be genuine sisterly convo here.
I did post a review of sorts, but it's not like an in-depth review.
Okay. What did you say?
I don't remember what I said. Pulling up the Goodreads?
Yeah, I've freshly
here it is.
Finished, so
still processing. We'll be back with a full review at a later date.
Yes.
And
I'm
then,
still processing.
and then right when I finished it, when I changed it to like red, when I moved it to my red
Mhm.
shelf, uh I commented on my own
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
commented on my own status and said, "Wish I could properly articulate my feelings right now, but unfortunately, I must decline any questions at this time."
It's so funny.
That's how I'm still processing. Let's
Yeah.
process together.
Let's
Let's
yes.
group therapy.
Yeah. We're wearing our matching Onyx rings
Oh my
today.
gosh, for Onyx Storm? Actually not, but
Yeah.
earlier I was wearing earlier I was wearing all black and I was like, "Should I change my top?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're in your flight leathers right now." And I said, "I don't want to be cringe." Okay,
Yeah.
wow, we haven't as we said, Yap City.
Yab
This
City.
is what we do when we don't have any direction.
Literally. But
Okay,
yeah, 2.5 stars.
2.5 stars.
Should we start from kind of the beginning and hop point by point,
Yeah.
or do you want to give your general overall arc of rating throughout the book? Because I could say a little spiel or tiny bit on that.
I'm gonna let you do that because I really don't have anything to say in that regard. I did want to check what the general rating is though, really
Okay.
quick by
Yeah.
everybody. So right at this current moment on Friday, February 7th, it has 4.36 stars with um 520,000 ratings. That is
What are
incomprehensible to me.
Can you see what Iron Flame was?
Iron Flame.
4.32 and
Iron Flame was 4.37 with like 1.8 million ratings. Also bananas. And Fourth Wing was 4.58 with 2.5 million ratings.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
My impression, I have never read a series or any of Rebecca Yarros's romances, so I can't really speak to her like as an author. But what I can say about this series, kind of Fourth Wing aside, because you're learning everything, world building, new characters, and it's fun. But Iron Flame and Onyx Storm both had this like 60% like flatlining, nothing's happening, nothing is interesting,
Yeah.
and then she kind of gets to the end where it's like there's a battle, and so there's like she's dropping the bombs that she's been wanting to drop. It's
Mm-hmm.
like she had literally only those things
Yeah.
planned, and
She's dragging you by a leash for the first 60%.
yeah, like that's how I feel about Rebecca Yarros's
Writing
handling.
style. Yeah.
Yeah. And really, I should read a romance because I know this is her first fantasy that she's written.
I've heard or I've seen on Instagram that one of her romances is really good.
The
Um,
love letter one.
it's someone with a plane on it.
Oh,
Does she have one with a plane on it?
unlikely event or something. I
I
think
don't.
that's what it's called. Yes, it does. It's called unlikely event
Yeah, I don't know. But
because it reminds me of the Lizzie song.
which one? Oh,
Um,
chemtrails.
no,
Oh,
in case this plane doesn't land safely tonight, I just wanted to tell you. I
oh,
want you
pancakes
to
for
know
dinner.
this. Yeah, yeah.
I love that
That's what it
song.
reminded me of.
I want to eat pancakes for dinner.
Anyway,
um,
we both agree on that regard, I feel.
yeah. I think if I had to like sum up my feelings about this book into maybe 2 or 3 words, that's how I'll say this. Flummoxed. uh, pissed off and
That's 2 words.
oh shit. Flummoxed, pissed, and uh, well, I guess confused and flummoxed are the same.
It's okay. You're just extra flummoxed.
Extra flummoxed squared. I did have another word, but anyways, I'm confused and I'm upset, dissatisfied.
Yes. I would say my 3 words are unimpressed,
Okay, good one.
bored,
Mhm.
and tired.
Tired. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So let's hop into the actual
yeah.
nitty-gritty
Should we
here.
talk plot first?
Sure.
Like, we could do, like, plot, characters, relationship, and writing style. Like, those are
Sure.
kind of my big grievances, so
Well, I kinda already got into writing style, honestly.
okay, then we wanna do writing style because I have more.
Okay, bro. Start off.
The last actually, a million times in this book, there were so many points where I had to reread 10 times before I understood what she was trying to say.
Mm.
And I know that you listened to the audiobook, so maybe it was more clear when the narrator is speaking it, but especially in the last, like, 4 chapters, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, I couldn't she describes the battle scene, the last battle scene so poorly that I couldn't envision any of it in my head.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming you had a different experience, but
No, I would say that's a little bit right. I mean, where were they again? What was the city called?
Dreyfus,
Yeah, I had
you
no
have no
image in
way to
my
picture
head.
it.
Yeah.
I know that there was a wall and a field.
Mhm.
That's it. I was like,
And a whole
"Where's"
city apparently behind the wall?
yeah, and I understand that it's probably hard to describe dragon fighting. Like, it's probably I probably would think that it's very hard to write that because how do you describe moving in the air and flying?
Mhm.
But it was just very hard for me to process where everybody was and what they were doing and, like, the maneuvers. Oh my gosh. Also, what the hell is maneuverability? I had never heard that word ever, and then
Together? Maneuverability?
yes, it's one word. Yeah, what is
We're
that?
just discovering words today.
No, I literally looked it up in a dictionary.
And it's a wor oh,
It's a real word, I think. We're gonna look it up. Maneuverability is the quality of being easy to move or direct. But, like, when you look up maneuverability, you know how normally if you look up a word and say, like, definition, it comes up with the Google or the Merriam-Webster
Mhm.
definition? Like,
It does
it
not
does not come
there.
up with anything. And she uses that word so many times
Really?
in that book. Yeah,
I didn't pick up on
especially
that.
in, like, the last 75%. I don't know why
Okay.
I picked up on that. That was I literally in my notes while I was taking notes while reading, I was like, "What the fuck is maneuverability?"
You know what else she says a million times?
Huh.
Bodhi, who looked exactly like his cousin. We get it!
Yeah.
They're related.
They're related, they
We
look alike.
know.
They
We know.
they also say, "Well aware." Have you noticed
Well
that?
the fuck aware.
Well the fuck aware.
They do. I caught on to
Both
that
of
too.
them.
Yeah.
I noticed it in the first book, but, like,
Is it like a tease that they have? I guess maybe it is.
I don't know. I just also think that authors sometimes hyperfixate on a phrase.
Mhm.
Um, oh my gosh. There was one point where I was cringing because, she was like, after a intimacy scene, she goes, "And that became a core memory." I was like, "Oh."
What?
Yeah, I highlighted it, I think, because I was just like, "That's gross, I didn't like it."
What the heck?
I was like, "You can't in a fantasy, you can't use, like, outdated, uh" is that's not a euphemism, that's just, like, slang, I
Lang,
guess?
yeah.
Um, yeah. She says, "Instantly becomes a core memory." I don't
Okay.
know, first of all, core memory I feel like is old, you know?
Like old slang?
Yeah, it's old slang. I
Yeah.
feel like it's like a year and a half old.
I mean, she probably wrote it a year and a half ago,
I know.
you know?
I just I it was interesting to me. Um, so yeah, I thought that the battle scene at the very end was poorly written. It just was. It was hard to understand as a reader. It was hard to visualize, which is half of reading. Um, the pacing, I think, throughout the book was just awful. As you said, the first 60% was
Yeah.
just boring.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah. I did not like personally, I did not like the POVs at the end.
Added nothing.
Yeah, there was
Except
0 value.
Zayden's, maybe.
Yeah. Well, but we've gotten a Xaden POV at the end of the first 2 books, and so I think it made sense to have his POV here.
Mhm.
And I understand, I guess, why she did it because she was trying to like show different scenes of the battle, right? But I just didn't think it added any value.
Well, Imogen's POV,
Okay.
literally the only reason was so she could kill off a character.
No, truly.
That's, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, it's like Rebecca had, like, "Okay, I want this to happen, and this to happen," and one of them was killing off Quinn, and she just had to throw in these other POVs.
Yeah, and I won't lie, I did cry.
I
Did
was
I
tearing
show
up.
you the picture of myself?
No. I took a picture too.
Wait, I took a couple. I'll have you put these I'll have you put these in on, like, the screen or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, girl.
No, that one is so funny.
You
Oh,
were really
no, I
crying.
really did cry. It was emotional.
It was. She writes death scenes very well. I've cried at every death.
Yeah, I have too.
Liam,
Oh my gosh, don't even get me
Lilith,
started.
and Quinn now, so
Yeah,
she can write those well.
yeah. Hey, you write death well, Bex.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Writing style for me, I don't really have anything else to comment on besides the over description of Bodhi and Zayden being cousins, and the first literally the first, I would say 90%.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say 90% of that book really felt like I was dragging my feet through it, and the first 50% was absolutely useless to me.
Yeah,
What a
agreed.
boring way to take a reader through, this plot development, like, they're kinda climbing the ladder through the plot, you know? I
Yeah.
get that it's really hard to to write travel scenes. Like, as a fantasy reader, like, that's just something that I know now,
Mhm.
that, like, it's very difficult for authors to make, like, traveling on a boat to Wendelin and, like,
Mhm.
keeping the plot, like, interesting because 'cause they're stagnant, but
But she also coulda just, like, skipped the travel in general.
yes, she could've.
Um,
But, like, I get that it's hard to write those, keep it interesting, and it kept happening over and over and over and over again. They were going to Eurasia, they were going to the island. So, that was immediately not gonna interest me at all.
you know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of felt like a copycat of ACOTAR, how they go to all the different courts.
Oh.
You know how they do that and I think it's the 2nd book? They
To
go to all
f
the different courts to, like, ask for help in the war effort.
Oh, yeah.
It literally felt like that to me. I was like, "Are where am I?"
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
it just felt I mean, it kind of literally was the same concept. We're gonna go to all these different islands and ask for help.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Another and I love to, like, status update on Goodreads about this. The last comment I have on, like, writing style is the fact that, like, her hair is just gray, guys, right? Am I crazy? Silver hair does not exist.
It's just a shiny
It's literally just
gray.
shiny gray hair.
But that's what silver is.
I mean, it's gray.
Silver is gray, but it's metallic. It's
Yeah,
like
but, like,
gold is
all
just
hair is
yellow.
kinda shiny. It's not silver hair. Grandmas have silver hair
Bro,
then.
you want her to say that she has gray hair.
I just think that it just is
She needs to stop. She needs to be honest.
it's her, it's like a pick me trait. I mean, I don't know, it bothered me.
Okay.
I'm nitpicking.
Your feelings are valid.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for hearing me.
You're welcome. Me and all of Goodreads
No,
hearing you.
literally.
But I think that's enough on the writing style. Any other
Yeah.
comments?
I'm sure if I come up with things, I will remember them and say them.
Okay. Let's move on to the big stuff. Let's move on to the plot because I sure as hell
Good
have a lot to
lord.
say about
What
that.
plot?
What plot?
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, as already mentioned, I felt like literally nothing happened in the beginning. Like, we're stuck with the scenarium. This constant, like, are we gonna let the writer or the flyers come to Navarre? it's just the same thing over and over and over again. And then Zayden being like, "I can't be near you. Don't touch me." Like, it was the same stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah. I thought that we were going to move past, like, the miscommunication
Miscommunication. But like,
Balesde. The miscommunication trope, we did get over that, right? And I thought, "Oh, wow, thank God." I couldn't stand that.
hmm
I do think that that was worse than whatever the hell was happening in this book.
yes, I agree.
Um, but, I mean, what? What was the point?
Yeah,
Like, why couldn't they just figure their shit out?
yeah.
I don't understand. Like, you've both decided that you love each other. You've decided to get over the whole keeping secrets and lying thing. Xaden has obviously moved past that, thank the Lord. Um, but I don't get how you actively try not to be together so much.
I was getting really sick and tired of that too. All right, well, we'll move on to the relationship then,
Okay,
because I have a
fine.
lot to say about that. You are exactly right, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, I understand it was keeping the romance kind of like still on your toes. Like, we don't get bored with it.
Mhm.
Um, kind of like I would compare it to like Feyre and Rhysand. Like, I'm just kind of bored with it now. Nothing
Mhm.
new's happening.
Mhm.
This one, I understand that she was kind of trying to keep it not stagnant, but it's like, come on, you guys are fighting about the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, they didn't spend any time together.
Never, yeah, they really didn't.
Like, none. And I
Yeah,
understand that that he was Venom and that it was a barrier in their relationship for
and
sure.
there was
That's
risk.
understandable.
Yeah,
But they didn't hang out.
yeah,
I was like, there's no romance here. The only time that they ever interacted was
smut,
smut, which
and the
fine.
occasional yes, love.
I have a thing about that. When did they start calling each other
This
that?
book,
It was so random and weird.
I somehow saw somebody on like social media say like, why did like Zayden drop violence and just start calling her
Yes,
love?
I looked it up. He calls her violence like maybe 2 times in the
That's
whole book.
yeah,
And he started calling her Vi. Who is he, Dane?
yeah.
Wha
Violence was like the whole
It's his pet name for her. It
yeah,
was cute and fun.
yeah,
I don't understand.
yeah,
I just can't wrap my head around that. Like,
yeah,
that was a part of what made their relationship, like, that was the character, that gave them character.
yeah. It was such a unique pet name too. Like I loved him calling her
Yeah,
Violence.
I did too.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I don't,
I
you
didn't
know,
like that.
love was cute every now and then, but like don't toss out violence.
Yeah, I just flummoxed.
um, what was the other thing I was gonna say about the relationship? Oh,
I know what you're gonna say, I think.
I don't want to know if I want to say it yet though, because that's kind of more plot. Should I just say it anyway?
Yeah.
Zayden was so unhelpful
Yeah.
this entire book.
He did absolutely nothing.
Like Violet is like tripping over herself, like worried sick, like I have to find a cure, like that's literally all I want to do, like literally traveling the world to find a cure. And he's just like, I can't be near you. Like, don't I can't touch you. Like, sorry, I can't put my dick inside you because I'm gonna lose my control. Like that's literally all he was saying.
Yeah, now at no point did he go, "Yes, let's do this. Let's actively try
Yes.
and find." He was, like, humoring her.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh,
I was like,
I've
okay.
already accepted that." I'm like, "Okay, how about some freaking restraint?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your unlimited control?"
Yeah.
Like, this is a personality shift. Your personality is literally degrading.
You are passive now. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't active anymore.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he
Mm-mm.
totally was just like, "Okay, Violet, go travel the world, and
No,
I'll be there, I guess, because you put me on your team."
it literally felt like he wanted to be Venom. I was like, That must be what you want. You think that that's the only way."
Yeah, and the only time they told us that Xaden was trying was literally at like 80%
Yes.
when Brennan was like, "We
We
tried this mending thing. We sat in the whatever."
and he ate some eggs or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. And Violet literally, her inner monologue was like, "Wow, Xaden is trying. He does
Yeah.
want to heal." Yeah, though that's one time, girl.
Yeah, one-sided
After
relationship.
he had already his eyes had already turned amber,
Mhm.
amber flecks. Yeah, I'm like, Bro, we're like late into this now, and
Yeah.
now you're trying." That really was pissing me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I know. It just didn't feel like he was putting in any effort
Yeah,
into helping himself.
yeah.
Um, and the whole entire time I couldn't help but think until she finally mentions it at, I don't even know, like 50%. In the back of my mind, I'm like, if he turns Venom and like he and Violet's bond and Taryn and Sigale's bond, like what happens here?
Mhm.
Right? I just couldn't, the fact that they didn't even think about that at any point until later on. And I thought, hey, that's a reason to fight, to stay yourself, because you know that the quickest thing to get rid of you is to kill Violet.
I
Like,
know, like, yeah, I know, like, the whole venom and like what that would be like was an unknown to them. Like, they had to have known, like, if Xaden turns venom, like, fully,
mhm.
like, how does he even have a dragon? Like,
Yes,
he has
that's
no
how.
soul anymore. Like, how could they possibly still be bonded in any regard?
Yes, exactly. That was my question too.
Yeah,
Why do they keep their dragons?
yeah. That just seems completely off to me.
Yeah,
Like, and why would Sigale allow that? Like, I understand there's a bond and like they chose each other and through thick and thin, but like, why is Sigale still helping him right now?
yeah, and he's like, Sigale isn't speaking to me." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
I'd be pissed at you too."
yeah.
I don't know. The fact that this maybe is another plot point, but the fact that she is the reason he turns is crazy to me,
Why?
because this whole entire time he's like, it's been building up to this, I'm going to turn to save Violet. And like I understand the bond between Ryder and their dragon is like that important, but I just did not envision it that way in my head. I mean, we all knew, right, that he was going to go full Venom. Like I just, it was not. Does it piss me off that that's how the third book ended? It literally ended the exact same way the first one did, or
Yeah,
the
it
second one
really
did.
did.
That is the exact same ending.
Yeah, yeah,
We got nowhere in 600 pages.
yeah. Yeah, no, literally, the Erids aren't coming to help. Like,
No, nothing changed. Literally
literally
nothing
nothing.
changed.
The only thing is like now there's a ward around Arisha or Tyrandor. That's like the
Yeah,
only
literally it.
thing.
Wow, such a big improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we've covered Zayden and Violet's relationship. Do you have anything more to say there?
Potentially, but nothing right now.
Okay.
I'll throw it in there
I
if
think
I think of it.
my biggest like reason why I'm upset about them is that it doesn't even feel like they were in a relationship and that Zayden put in zero effort to help himself.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would leave it at right now.
Yeah. I would say that they still like had a relationship, but like it felt so
It
one-sided.
was
Like
one-sided.
Violet was like literally begging for
Mhm.
him to put some effort into it, and he just wasn't helping himself. Like he was just like angry protective. It wasn't even, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a healthy relationship at all. Like it just really wasn't.
Mm-mm.
I genuinely thought at one point in the book like y- y'all should just break up because this isn't working. Like
Mhm.
this dead ass is not working.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought Zayden honestly
They
would
kind of were
be
broken
like,
up, low key.
yeah, thought maybe like 80% of the book that Zayden would break up with her and be like, you need to move on without me. Like I'm a lost cause. One, because he was acting like he was a lost cause, and two, because
He really
that
thought he
felt
was one.
that's what it felt like to me. Like, he's Venom, bro.
Mhm.
Like, and we already found out there's no cure from the Irids. So
Yeah, I know. I just I from a plot perspective, none of our questions got answered.
like what?
What was the whole entire point of theophany or theophany? The fact that that book ends with her dying and we don't even really know what she was there for. What? Please explain to me. I'm flummoxed.
No, dead ass. She was only introduced in this book.
Yes,
She started in this book and then she died in this
she
book.
died in this book because Violet put some rock on her. Are they sisters? Like, I'm.
Well, I do know that. Like, she was a priestess
She was a priestess.
in
Dune's temple.
Dune's temple, and she went Venom, which broke a bond with Dune, and now she was kind of like cursed by Dune.
Yeah, but we don't even know still why she was after Violet.
Because she was powerful and she wanted another lightning wielder on the Venom side.
That's not
Not enough.
that's not enough for me. I cannot fathom why Theophany, whatever the hell, why she was even a character and even important when that was like the whole point was her to be introduced. They had enough going on,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Like you had the Irids plot point. You could have made that so much stronger and like worth it rather than having this side bullshit with Theophany.
Yeah.
I
Theophany honestly didn't even do that much damage either.
no.
She almost killed Mira.
She almost killed
But
Mira.
then she didn't. That didn't
Yeah,
happen.
we don't know if Mira's even like truly alive or okay. Like we know she's alive, but
Yeah, that's true.
we don't have any answers about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's the whole marriage thing, but just the whole entire ending was so inconclusive. Though that's not cliffhangers, Rebecca. Like one cliffhanger is enough. The marriage thing, like that was a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Zayden turning Venom, that was a cliffhanger. But like the thing with Theophany and whatever the heck about the 6 eggs being taken
Yes.
and like that,
too much.
it was too much. Like it's being a cliffhanger and being excited and like wishing the next book was here. That's obvious. You're going to do that in a series, but I don't understand why there are so many open questions, so many open items.
We're to the point where when I finished the book, Malin was in the same room as me, and Imogen says like, "You asked me to."
I did what you asked me to.
Yeah, referring to erasing her memories because that's Imogen's signet. I literally just looked at Madeline and I was like, "Wait, what? Wait,
Yeah,
is that her signet? Or
Yeah.
like, wait, I'm confused. Like, what just happened?"
No, I'm the whole entire last 5% was so confusing.
Yeah, it was not me like, oh my gosh. It was literally me like, I need to go search what Imogen's signet
Yeah.
is, question mark.
Mhm.
And now I'm just like, what? I'm confused, not intrigued.
There was this whole thing with Brennan not having a handprint on him whenever Sloane used her signet to like through Dane as a siphon. Like little things like that. I don't know if that's an Easter egg or like Violet very nonchalantly mentions it, but just weird stuff like that kept happening throughout the last 5%. I'm like, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
Don't
These aren't like good Easter eggs.
No, and the stuff with the sage at the very end, like him saying that he couldn't kill him. Pancheck?
Yeah,
What the hell?
Where did that man come from?
Who?
I know who he is, but
why did he end up there?
how did he get to what was it called?
Orisha?
No, the city in the battle.
Drathus?
Yeah. How did he get to Drathus?
Why was he there?
Why was he there? Man's name was never mentioned anywhere else in the book.
No, truly.
And like there was no like Violet didn't even know this.
Yeah.
Violet doesn't even know.
Yeah, Zayden said something in that part where he was like, traitor. I was like, Traitor of what?
Well, remember somebody knew when dagger shipments were being sent out? There was
Oh,
a traitor.
okay.
Yeah, so that
That makes
was
sense.
yeah.
But
If
how did
yeah.
Xaden, like, put that together just by seeing him?
Well,
I would have just been like, "He's being tortured by the sage."
I don't
I would
know.
be so clueless.
Oh, Zenins can sense each other. Venins. Did I say
Venons?
Venins?
Oh, he had gone
Venins.
Venon?
Yeah.
Mm.
Pancheck was Venin.
I mean,
That's why they
that's why I'm
call them
saying, like,
brothers.
that's why I'm saying the writing style is just or the writing is just very poor,
Yeah.
you know?
That was another like the pan check thing was another thing that Rebecca Yarros is like, "Oh, this is gonna happen," and she just dropped that bomb. He was never in the book the entire beginning. Like,
Mm-mm.
girl, you need to drop hints. Like, you need to put the character in the story if you're gonna make him that big of a deal. Like, that man
Yeah.
was a traitor, and yes, I know he died, but like that is very significant. That was a very significant like plot bomb.
Mhm. It
But
really
there was
was.
nothing before that.
There's no build up, no lead up to
Yeah.
that. And all the stuff that Sigale is saying,
About what?
about, like, right after he channels from the earth,
Mhm.
he's like, "She'll help," and Sigale's like, "No, she won't." Like, I understand that she's
Oh,
saying that
yeah.
Taryn is not going to let Xaden get close to her
Uh-huh.
now, but it sounded like they were talking about something very specific.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes, I do.
And I'm
Why
like,
was it vague?
did he have a backup plan? Like, was he planning on turning Venom this whole time? Because he did use the power that he channeled from the earth to, like, kill all the wyvern and
Mhm.
the venom that were
Mhm.
there. Like, he kind of saved Drathus. So that's good. But it to me, it kind of felt that he was always planning on fully turning,
Mm.
and like he has some backup plan. Like he knows something that we don't.
Interesting.
Like the whole marriage thing had to have been a part of his plan.
That's true. He must have had a
He
backup plan.
orchestrated that. I don't understand why that would even be part of a cliffhanger if he hadn't preemptively thought about it.
And Sigale was so calm about it too. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, why the hell were Sigale and Zayden still bonded? Like, he
Mhm.
literally turned Venom, and like she was so pissed at him the whole book. Why were they still bonded? And you bring up a good point. Like, why was she so chill at the end?
She was. She wasn't even mad.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, she like
She was just like, Taryn's not gonna let you near her.
yeah, no shit.
Like, girl, why do you want him literally on your back?
Yeah. We also know that he still has his bond with Violet because afterwards he's like, "Oh, I reached down the bond, but it's muddled with her being unconscious because she passed out."
Well, there was that thing also where he was like, there was ice between their bond
But
because
he
he
did
was
that.
pulling,
Mhm.
but then he became the ice
Mhm.
and was went full venom.
He didn't really seem emotionless at the end.
I feel like that's hard to write.
If he went full venom, wouldn't you assume that
Oh
he'd be like,
yeah,
"Let's kill everybody"?
he was like, I still know I love Violet or whatever.
Yeah, I guess he saved like some tiny piece of himself.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just imagine him being a little venom minion whenever he turned fully.
Yeah, I thought that he would become a villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of bonds, what the fuck was Andarna's whole entire plot line in this book?
Let's talk about it because yeah, what the fuck? Like actually for what the fuck? She becomes like this huge plot bomb at the end of Iron Flame. She's so important, crucial to the entire story. And we find out that her breed's not even gonna help.
Yeah.
Like, they actually don't even like her because she's totally anti-Irid
Yeah.
morals. And then she just dips
Yeah.
at
She
the
straight up
end,
just leaves.
dead ass. No,
And
she
then
like,
she comes back.
yeah, and then leaves again? Question mark? Yeah, we don't even know where Indarna is at the end. Did she come back for good or what?
Yeah. Well, at the very end, she's the one speaking to Violet saying like, "Hey, Terran's asleep. He's resting."
That's correct. That is correct.
I the fact that they hop from island to island for 55% of this book, and the conversation with the Irids is 5 minutes long,
Yeah.
and they are not helpful at all, is so disappointing.
Yeah. I was expecting that plot line to be very cool.
I was too.
I was very excited to see how the Irids got involved and like finding out where they lived. They didn't even like find them either. The Irids found them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was expecting you guys to, like, go into this magical valley and like you see all the dragons living happily and like magic and
Like
like
Avatar.
yeah, literally like this utopian world for these dragons in the valley. And no, it was like literally just like Violet's sleeping and they just like land. That's
Yeah.
lazy. That's lazy writing.
It was
That's
really lazy.
not creative at all.
It just w- flummoxed. I just don't even know what to say.
Yeah. I'm kind of at a loss for words too.
Yeah, and not to mention the way that the characters like could have stepped in a little bit in that moment, you know?
What
Like
do you mean?
who was there? Riddick was there.
Mhm.
And then after like he finds out that Zayden is Venom and then
Mhm.
they have an argument about it for 2 seconds and says you have to tell everybody else and then she tells everybody else and it was like not a big deal at all.
Yeah. No, I will actually will say the fight between Violet and Riddick was probably actually one of my favorite parts.
Mhm.
Like Riddick, that was really cool, like character development and
Yeah,
aside to his character, I
to see a,
appreciated that.
a serious side of him. Yeah.
Someone also for the first time actually being scared of
Yeah.
Zayden, like
Seriously,
and
the
taking
only one
this,
with common
it's
sense.
yeah, like literally taking it serious for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did like that part.
I also liked seeing more of Riddick's relationship with his Draken. Like
That
them
was
pulling pranks
funny.
on each other was
That was
funny.
funny.
I will give you that.
Yeah, I do like Riddick's comedic relief. I
Yes.
do.
The side characters in this book are genuinely good. The fact that you don't see Rhiannon for half the book because she's not on mission quest or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you're right. You know who pisses me off though? Mira.
what about her?
She's just a dick.
Yeah, she kind of is.
Like she's just rude. Like I just don't like her.
Mhm. I'm she had a role to play though.
Yes.
Um,
And I know she's kind of like the authoritative figure of their family, you know, and like it's gonna tell you shit straight. But like she's just a bitch. I'm sorry.
yeah,
She,
she kind of is.
there's nothing to like about her. When I kid you not, when uh Theophany slit her throat, I was like, wow, this is actually interesting.
Yeah.
This is like life altering for
Mhm.
Violet. And then nothing
I thought that
happened. I
that was
was
her
like,
role to play.
yeah. I was like, wow, there might be information like Mira didn't say about the priestesses from like in Violet's dad taking her to the island or whatever. Like I just thought that would be interesting, and then that didn't even happen. So
The fact that I'm going back to Andarna.
yeah, go for it.
So we already discussed how useless the Irids were and how anticlimactic that whole conversation between Andarna and the Irids were. And I'm like, the fact that Violet literally just sat there while Andarna talked for hours and like didn't say a word, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Um, when Andarna breaks the bond, Violet doesn't put up any fight. Like, it just shocks me that Andarna could even do that. But I guess maybe she didn't totally do it because she reformed the bond. I don't know. Violet sleeping for 3 days and then getting up and just being okay was so weird to me.
Yeah.
Girl took a nap and then woke up and was like, I'm fine.
And she was like, "I miss Andarna," but, like, girl, you were, like, acting
Yeah.
fine
I was like,
otherwise.
you did you really care? It
Like,
didn't feel
where
like
yeah,
it.
where was, like, the fatigue and, like, the half of your soul missing? Like,
Yes.
I expected Violet to honestly kind of, like, be acting dead inside
Yeah,
for that period of time at the end.
yeah. Okay, this is kind of a weird tangent, but one of my favorite things about ACOTAR, the second book, is how, like, fucked up Feyre is. She's, like, an absolute mess,
Mhm.
and it felt very, like, real and honest and
Mhm.
genuine. Like, she's waking up every night, throwing her guts up, and having these awful nightmares, and it's just, like, ruining
She
her.
can't paint.
Yeah. She is so messed up, so badly needs therapy. I'm not saying that this should be the exact same scenario, but I was expecting something on that level, like for Violet to just not be able to function.
Yeah.
But then she's, you know, getting eaten out in the throne room like 5 minutes later, like, seriously?
Wait, that actually did happen.
No, like, seriously.
That dead ass happened.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Also,
Nothing little dick won't fix. She just needed a dick appointment. Forget the doctor.
the fact that this kinda goes back to the whole relationship thing. In the, like, intimacy scenes, Violet and Xaden cannot have a moment together without somebody knocking on their door.
You're right.
I'm like, "Rebecca, just let them sleep. I mean, come on. Like, let them go to bed and hold each other and have intimate conversation."
Yeah. And act like a couple for once because they didn't really do that first half.
Eh, uh,
Mhm.
every time that they even had, like, a moment together, it was somebody knocking on the door saying, "Hey, your mom's acting up," uh, or they go and see, Marin to confirm Violet's second signet.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh.
I just why can't they have a moment with each other without being interrupted? It's happened in every single book.
Yeah, I don't
Every single book.
I thought Rebecca Yarros was a romance writer. Why is she, like, scared to write their relationship?
Mhm.
Why can we not get Violet and Xaden
On the same
getting
team,
along?
on the
Yes,
same side.
on the same side, functioning normally
Mhm.
in a relationship. Like, why can't we get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the second book, like Xaden wasn't even in it. Like he was literally
He was
across the
yeah,
country.
he was gone or he was soulless or something, like,
Yeah. You brought up Violet's second signet, and I need to talk about
okay,
it.
go for it.
How many theories did you guys see online about Violet's second signet being she needs knowledge? Like that's her second need. She needs knowledge, knowledge, knowledge.
Mhm.
Where in the fuck did her second signet come from, bro?
So I thought throughout the whole book that she was going to be able to see the future.
I thought that
I thought her
too.
second signet was going to be Oryx.
Yeah, precognition.
Yeah.
Me too.
And the fact that in the book she says he's a precog.
Listening to that on the audiobook was like literally so
No,
funny.
reading it was really funny too. Like in the middle of a battle, he's a precog.
Sounded like Peacock on the audiobook, so it was funny. But yeah, the literally Rebecca Yarros even like laid it out for us. Her need at the time of her second signet manifestation was like wanting to know how Indarna was doing while she was in the dreamless sleep.
That is
What?
yeah.
That's Violet's ultimate, utter, life altering, necessary need? Dreams?
Yeah.
For one instance, she just was like, I wish I knew how Indarna was doing in her sleep. That was her dying need?
Yeah.
That was her.
I don't get it. I
Mm. I feel,
also,
yeah.
you know, the conversation that Andarna has with the Irids is she says, or they tell her like, and what you've given her, the gift that you've given her is much more dangerous. I don't understand how that's that dangerous.
Me neither.
I mean, maybe I just am not having the foresight to anticipate how that's going to play out in the next few books,
Mhm.
but, uh, how is being able to dream walk
Dangerous.
I did see or I did think, like, maybe that's how she's gonna communicate with Xaden, if she can learn how to control it, right?
Oh.
And that's how they'll communicate if they even do, like, if
Mhm.
he even wants to, but
But now it seems to be like a proximity thing. Like she was close to Marin and then she's like sleeping next to Xaden kind of
mm,
thing. But
mhm.
maybe she'll hone her signet. What I was going to say, the only reason I think it could be dangerous is if she can like alter a dream. Like I kind of have a theory that the sage in Xaden's dreams is actually like getting into his dreams. Like he's like a dream walker.
Oh, no, I think so too.
Yeah, like, I have always thought the sage when I thought that they were Violet's dreams, like, Violet being the one that
Yeah, I
character
thought
in
that
the
they were
dream.
low-key real.
Yeah, I thought, like, the sage was actually, like, getting into Violet's dreams and, like, communicating with her.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
because
isn't all about, like, magic is balance?
yes, yeah.
So, she's the Navarre's,
Dreamwalker and
dreamwalker, and
sage
yeah, the
is
Seg is Seg.
Sage. Yeah, so I that's my current theory, which I feel makes sense, but, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I just very random.
Xaden well, speaking of other dreamwalkers and balance,
Uh-huh.
who the fuck is Link? The other shadow, uh, he manifested. He's one of the fresh or first years
Oh,
in their
yeah.
Iron Squad, and he just has shadows,
Yeah, like,
one of the
really randomly.
most important signets,
Yeah, out of nowhere.
and nothing else is said. Like Link is never mentioned again.
See, that's what I'm saying, is are these supposed to be Easter eggs for the next book? Or are they plot lines that are just not going anywhere? I just can't
Yeah.
tell, like, why is this set up? Because if it is, she's did a really poor job.
Why in the world would she pick Link to be a shadow wielder and then like use him in the next book? Like we don't even know him. Like he is the like least important character in my opinion. Like
I didn't even know
Ro
who
came
he
out of fucking
was.
nowhere. So I know that plot line's going nowhere because she has all of Xaden and Violet and all of that stuff to focus on in the fourth book. Like I know they're not going to be talking about Link and using Link in war and whatnot. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
why'd she do that?
I don't I don't know. Also, what was the point of making Xaden a professor? That is such a dog shit trope. Like, dog count 7. Um, but seriously, like, what was the point of making him a professor? It
Yeah.
was just it was literally just to add another barrier to their relationship, and it made no sense because he just
Yup.
resigned. Like,
Yup.
that's all that happened was he was a
Yup.
professor for 3 months and then he resigned.
Yup. It was literally just to add that we can't be together. Oh, the tension, the want.
Yeah, and, like, not even in a cute way.
Yeah, not in a cute way.
You and I like the professor student thing. That was
Yeah,
not cute.
that wasn't cute. It was just frustrating.
It was frustrating. I was like, "You already have the whole Xaden being unwilling to be a part of this relationship. You don't need to add a second barrier for why they can't be together." Like, it
Yeah,
was just so
it
pointless.
was. Yeah.
Especially since he ended up resigning and it was just barely mentioned. It was like, "Oh yeah, Xaden resigned because he had more important things to do because he's the Duke of Tyrrendor."
Yeah. That reminds me of Colonel Atos. Because he was the one that was like, you need to resign or whatever.
Mhm.
He was like such a villain in like 30%, like sending them to the front lines and just being a dick. Like, honestly, though, what is his point in the book anymore? Like, we don't need Colonel Atos to be the villain at home. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, yeah.
I understand, but like, he actually just, I don't know, he was just annoying to me.
There's no follow through on so many of these small, like, which at the time have a big role,
Yeah.
but there's no continuation of them. There's no conclusion of them. they're all still open items.
Yes.
And it's not making sense to me.
Even the things that were supposed to be resolved in this book, like finding the Irids, they were going to play a part. Like, no, that's still open ended. So that just leaves me with the impression that either this series isn't ending in 4 books, or the fourth book is going to be the size of a Bible and like just too much all at once. And I swear, if it is more than Violet's POV throughout that entire book, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah.
I do not want a multiple
Oh,
POV book.
you're saying, like
I do not want Imogen's POV. I do not want Dane's POV. I just like Violet's.
yeah.
And
If you were to give me
Xaden's,
Xaden, that would be
that
fine
would be
because
fine.
it sounds like they're going to be separated significantly in the next book. Wow.
Yeah.
What's new?
But don't give me that multi POV.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my
No,
mind.
just that throughout the book.
Yeah, no. No. Too much is going on already. And Violet can't even fix all of them
Yeah.
by herself. She can't fix Colonel Atos. She can't fix Andarna being abandoned like by her kind or whatever, or the bond. Like she can't fix Satan. She can't fix the Venom situation. Like there's so many things that Violet can't fix already. Like you
Mhm.
said, open plot lines that I don't need that chaos.
Speaking of open plot lines, Xaden's mom? What?
That was one thing that I texted you. I was like, Zayden's mom?
Yeah, question mark, question mark. I just so random. And then I was like, why didn't she just die? She must come back and play a role. I was like, you should have just poisoned them and let them
Yeah,
die.
she must like give them an army later on or something. That's
Maybe.
all I can think of. They didn't gain anything from that island anyway.
Mm-mm.
Like nothing. It was literally just
Yeah,
for the
except the
drama.
fact that they're not welcome back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just
Yeah. Speaking of like the islands and like the drama, each one.
oh, technically I guess there are heirs to Tyrandor though, because he has half brothers.
Oh, yeah. But he already designated Bodhi.
Yeah, but like if Bodhi died,
Well, now it's Violet. Violet is the
yeah. Now.
Duchess of Tyrandor now.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll like fake Zayden's death or something to like protect him. No, I guess they know it's the ring.
Yeah.
Or maybe Violet had to kill him and Imogen asked her to wipe her memory.
You know what I thought was going to happen at the end of this book? I thought Violet was going to become Venom.
Me too.
And I honestly was rooting for that.
Yeah.
I was like, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't happen though.
It didn't.
So
Would have been cool though.
it would have been cool.
Just like Mira dying would have been cool. I'm sorry, but like saving her life, I understand, but like actually that would have like added so much depth to the story,
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It really
Quinn
would've.
was like not that important. We didn't know her that well.
Yeah, we didn't.
The only reason I cried at her death was because it was from Imogen's POV.
Exactly.
Like that was the only value that added.
Yeah.
Imagine. Oh wait, I have a theory.
Okay, I have something super quick to say.
Okay, go.
Speaking of open plot lines, the rebel or relic, people having 2 signets, that just being thrown in there.
Yeah, super randomly.
I thought the reason that Xaden had 2 was because Sagael was bonded to his relative.
Yeah.
But no, in this book,
Turns out if you
Rebecca's
have a
just like,
rebellion relic,
you have 2. I'm like, okay.
she just needed a convenient reason for Garrick to be able to teleport.
Yeah, literally.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Like, why?
That means that
Why
Sloane is
do
going to
they
have a
get-
second signet.
Yeah.
Like,
why do they have 2? What does the relic give them? That reminds me, it never made sense to me why Melgren couldn't see the outcome of a battle if there were 3 or more people with relics. Like why?
yeah, there's not really any clear explanation for that.
Like
At
what is
least
the
not that I
magic
remember.
behind the relics? Yeah, but that's all I was gonna say. Your theory?
I think that Sloane and Dane are gonna date.
Really?
Mhm.
Where in the world
I'm
did you
putting
get
that into the
that?
universe, and if it's wrong, y'all can come after me, I don't care.
Why?
I don't know. I just sensed something.
Where?
There were a couple of different times where they interact, and it just feels like a little bit more. I don't know how to describe it. Like the way that Sloane trusts Dane enough to use her signet on him to save Mira,
Hmm.
like he talked her through it
Yeah.
and she like trusted him.
Well, he's also her wing leader.
Yeah, but
Hmm. I never would have come
there
up
were
with
a
that.
couple of other things where Sloane like listens to him and I feel like she wouldn't normally listen to anybody else in the same scenario.
Hmm.
But I don't know, that was just a small thing. Like I could be just absolutely totally wrong.
I do
I've
think
been wrong about everything in this series, so
that's true. Yeah. I guess there's that. I mean, Rebecca has gone us in that way.
mhm.
I think that Dane will end up like with a happy ending though, because Rebecca Yarros herself has said that she loves Dane.
I mean, he had a redemption arc.
I like Dane.
I like Dane. I'll say it.
People treat him like Tamlin, and I'm just like, bro, no,
No, he's
no,
not a Tamlin.
no.
Yeah,
They
no.
even like Violet and Xaden still like give him crap, and Violet's like, I don't know if I can fully trust Dane, but like I
Yeah, how
have to
much
bring
do
them
we
because
trust
he knows.
Dane these days?
Yeah,
I'm
like
like,
he's the only one that knows Crowlish. I'm like,
yeah, and then it turns out Arik knew the whole time. They're like, oh, we shouldn't have brought Dane. I'm like, Dane's kind of cool.
yeah, Dane is fine
Leave Dane
now.
alone.
Yeah, Dane drops everything for Violet.
Yeah, he literally
Always.
got the journal from like her
Mhm.
dad's journal
Yes.
from the rooms and betrayed his dad. And they're like, do we still trust him?
Yeah, like why is there still this beef with Dane? And
Yeah.
people like always picking on him. Like, oh well, Dane's here. Like someone so could be here, but you invited Dane on our trip. Like,
Yeah, he's just a waste of space.
yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why are we so bullying Dane?
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
I like him.
I like Dane too.
I think that he and Sloane would be cute together.
Their age gap for some reason feels weird to me.
It's literally like 3 years.
I know, but like Sloane is so
Mature.
emotionally
Yeah.
not developed.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know.
Um, yeah, I how tragic was the writer that died? That cat was
Traeger.
yeah, I actually was
I
really
teared up
sad
at
about
that
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
actually was very sad and totally didn't see it coming at
I
all.
didn't see it coming at all. I was like, "Wow, can't cat like actually have something nice?" You
Yeah,
know?
literally. Yeah, that was actually like very sad.
Yeah, so random. Hey, let's just give him an arrow through the chest.
Yeah. Out
Um,
of nowhere.
yeah. Did they end up actually obtaining any aid from any of the islands?
Yes, the last one, the island of Dune.
I thought the queen of that island died.
The queen that died was Peromil.
Oh, really?
Peromil.
Oh, wow. I didn't
That's the queen that died. That's why Takaris became king.
Hmm.
Because the
Mhm.
Peromil queen died. No, yeah, the island people of Dune were like, "Yes, we will send our armies." It was so easy for them, by the way.
Mhm.
They immediately were like, "Do our little test, and then yeah, we'll send you armies, no problem." Oh, we love dragons. Were they even at the battle? They were at the Temple of Dune.
Yeah, what's the point of dedicating a child? Like
Yeah, another open plot line,
another open
bro.
plot line that was really explained honestly very poorly.
Poorly. I had no idea what
Mm,
was going on with
yeah,
that stuff.
Violet is half dedicated by her dad who
Marked.
betrayed her mom and took her to the islands by himself to try to fix her. Like Brennan, Mira, and Violet have that argument that is almost not understandable. Like,
Yeah, Mira just goes, visits the grandma, gets all the tea, and then they come back and they're all of a sudden just like, "Oh, well."
They were worried that it was gonna turn her venom?
That's what I, like, actually had no idea. I thought maybe I didn't read something or didn't pick up on something, but
There's, like, low-key a little bit of a prophecy or something?
yeah. Okay, wait, walk me through this because I actually am genuinely confused about this
No,
part.
I am too.
Violet's dad took, Violet as a baby to this island
I
to
don't think as a baby, but as, like, a young child.
okay, maybe in a
Toddler era? I
toddler,
don't
yeah,
know.
and when she was marked by Dune,
I
so not
guess.
fully dedicated, and
Mhm.
the priestess, like, stopped her because her path wasn't chosen yet.
Yeah, and I think it's also illegal or something
Yeah,
to
it's
dedicate children.
yes, 'cause they haven't chosen their path or
Yeah, I
something.
don't know. I mean,
Was this on Devarelli? Devarelli was the one of wisdom, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Because I remember Violet being like, "Oh, the when I got the books from that lady in the shop, she had asked, like, which have you chosen your path yet?" and stuff.
And she's like, "I choose him."
Yeah. Um, but I thought it was the Isle of Dune that she was dedicated to,
Yeah, she is dedicated to Dune.
which is the god of war, which what?
Yeah, I am
I may, like, need to reread that or something, but I'm actually really lost on that whole
the
situation.
last 25%, I severely was reconsidering my intelligence. Like, I was like, "Am I dumb for not being able to put this together, or is it really just this poorly laid out?"
I think that part was specifically was poorly laid out, at least.
Yeah, because it's Violet comes out of her three-day funk, and Mira and Brennan are arguing while she's in the bathtub, and they're talking about that, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden they get called away. I don't remember what.
I don't remember why either. But
Make it make sense.
and they also like Mira was like, "Oh, I didn't realize Violet. I'm sorry I was saying that in front of you." Why wouldn't you like go up to Violet calmly and like have a gentle conversation with her about that? That was just that's what I'm saying. Like Mira's just kind of a bitch.
Mhm.
Like she did not handle that situation
Yeah, she
correctly.
was mad at Violet for Violet's dad.
Picking her to give the books to.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
that book is a hot
it
mess.
really
I'm
is.
honestly considering my star rating right now.
Really?
I mean, just I like, now that I'm fully processing all of the things that I did not exactly think through in the moment, it's just adding up so much to be a dumpster fire.
Yeah. I honestly can't really say like what I loved about the book. There's nothing I loved. Except maybe the fact that Xaden turned fully venom, and that's tea.
It is tea. That is the most interesting part of the book,
Yeah,
even if it's
yeah.
frustrating.
Our main villain is dead. Theophany's dead. Like, so that's over
I
with.
guess Berwin or whoever the sage
Yeah,
is
but
still
he's a
there.
sage. Well, and, like they can't kill the sage because Xaden can't kill him. That came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
How did Xaden find that out from
One of my complaints is
Jack?
that some of the magic systems in this book are so poorly explained. Like
The
runes,
runes?
like that the runes get a chapter, if not even a chapter, 5 pages in Iron Flame to describe how they work. They become such a important piece of the first chapter of this book
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mira being able to change it,
yeah,
and then they
so
can
that the
move
flyers
the
can use their magic, which that was became
that was like a plot hole she needed to fill.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a plot hole that she needed to fill and used runes to do it, and it just didn't even really make sense.
Mhm.
Um, I did think it was kinda badass that Violet got them all pardoned, and she, like,
Yeah.
did that while she was
Yeah,
pardoned. That was actually kinda
that was
badass.
like the that's what I love about Violet. It's
Yeah,
like her mind like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
she does she's kinda sick in
Mhm.
some ways, but I think that the runes just don't make sense to me.
Mhm.
Violet's not good at them, so maybe that's part of the reason why I just can't comprehend that magic, that piece of the magic. But also, I don't feel like the venom are ever really explained either. Like, when are we really, I mean, and maybe I just didn't pay attention, close enough attention in Iron Flame when you were really introduced to their hierarchy, like
Mhm.
from Maven and Initiate and whatever ASIM, like
Yeah.
what abilities they have. And, you know, I understand like that they create the wyvern and things like that, but I don't understand how a Venom can have a dragon. Also, can you
Yeah.
only become Venom if you are a rider? Or can anybody use the earth magic?
I think that was cleared up in, um, Onyx Storm. Like, it was something about, like, it's just easier for riders because
They already have a
they already
signet?
have they know how to use magic.
Mm. Okay, I just
So
didn't catch
they
that.
know where to find it in the earth, and it's
Okay.
easier for them to become.
So I just didn't catch it?
Yeah,
Okay,
that
that's
was
fine.
explained, yeah.
That's fine, that's on me.
Um, and that also would explain why Theophany became, um, Venom, because there was magic on that island. There was
Mhm.
magic on Dunes Island, because that's where the Irids were.
Yeah, how was Violet able to use magic there?
I was literally gonna say that. How how can they communicate? When there was no magic, why could she still communicate with Taryn and Andarna?
I don't know.
That was never explained. It was just, like, out
Like,
of
what makes her
convenience.
special?
That's all, like, I keep trying to, like, think, like, what is Violet's whole they're clearly, like you said, is like a prophecy or something. There's, like, something that we don't know that Violet's dad did, and it's literally continent life altering for everybody. World altering. I was like, "Okay, I thought Violet was gonna be the cure." I thought Violet was some kind of, like, God's blessed. I
She
thought she
might
was
still be.
I also kinda thought that she was I thought Violet's, mom was Venom. And so therefore, when
Mm.
Violet's like Lilith and Asher conceived Violet, like she was half Venom already. So there was like the ability for someone to be Venom, but like not,
Mhm.
you know.
There's something that Violet's dad and mom knew that nobody else knew, right? Because Violet's mom's journal had, like, pages ripped out of it,
Yes.
and so I'm assuming that's gonna be a big piece of another reason why Violet is, like, the chosen one kind of thing. I'm just, as you said, back to your 3 words, I'm tired, bro.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
I'm tired, like,
I'm tired of like trying to like constantly theorize.
yeah, it's too many. I don't I don't even know if that was the purpose, was just to have Easter eggs for
Yeah.
the next books. Like, I think that this book could have been the last one in the series. Originally, it was supposed to be. There was only supposed to be 3 books, right?
Oh, I don't know. I thought there were gonna be four.
Oh, I don't know, but there's 5. It's
There's
gonna be
five?
5. It's gonna be 5, I'm pretty sure.
No wonder it ended like that. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So many open plot holes.
I mean, and hopefully they're not plot holes. Hopefully they're actually gonna be concluded
Yeah, yeah. I'm
and
sure they
see
will be.
resolution. I mean,
It's just crazy that she's carrying plot line that should have been resolved in this book, like, into the next, like the Irids, for example,
yeah.
and the cure.
Yeah, I just
That was so anticlimactic. There is no cure,
there is no
period.
cure. I think that there probably is one and they're just not willing to tell.
I feel like Violet is the cure. Like,
I mean, she could
actually,
be.
I'm actually kinda, like, thinking about that. I'm cooking
You're cooking?
that theory. I actually think Violet is the cure. I think she's half Venom. I think her mom was Venom. Her dad wasn't. They conceived her. They realized with the hair and stuff that she was, like, drained, like, a little bit,
Mm,
and that's why they took her and he did all that research on the Isles and stuff to find a cure because they thought she was gonna turn Venom.
I don't know. I feel like
Because there were paths for her to choose, non-Venom or Venom,
somebody would
at the
have been able
temple.
to sense Lilith, though.
But not if she was like Xaden, where she was too early.
Xaden could sense people too.
Oh, I guess, like, Xaden would have been able or, Jack Barlow.
Yeah, Jack, there's no way Jack wouldn't have told Violet because she was giving him the alloy or whatever.
Yeah. But
I don't know, maybe the dad was Venom.
but I will say I caught this on social media. That's why I'm like actually like thinking this is it. Is like somebody had posted like, oh, something I didn't catch in the first time of Iron Flame or whatever. But it was a line that Lilith had come back from war or like a battle, and she had been up all night and her eyes were bloodshot when she came home to Asher, like the dad. So that's why
Mm.
I'm like thinking that she was Venom. She like
Mm.
drained a little bit, kind of like Zeta did, and didn't fully turn, but
Mm.
she like flipped that switch.
Maybe. She was
That's
very
why.
adamant about doing anything to save her kids.
Mhm.
So,
Well, I think we've talked
we
about that enough.
we have said more than enough,
Yeah.
but to conclude today's episode, we're going to bring some lightheartedness back and we're going to read just a couple of good reads reviews. Just a few.
I don't know if it'll be lighthearted.
I mean, it'll be funny, I think.
Some laughs, we'll say. Overall, this book was a disgrace to the series.
Oh,
The
like
potential is chasing Rebecca Yarros, but she's faster.
no.
We don't know where this series is headed, and given this mess, neither does Rebecca. I wish I can say that I wasn't surprised, but actually I am. I am very, very surprised by Onyx Storm, written by Rowan. Yeah, I agree with that. I am
I am
surprised.
surprised that it could have gotten worse.
Yeah. Wow. Let's read one more.
Okay.
I need Imogen to use her powers and wipe all of my memories
Oh.
from this shit.
Too right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. One more. Somebody rated it 7 stars.
This is not the place for you.
Someone else said, I'll be processing this one for the next 2 to 3 business days. XX. Same as
No,
you.
truly, that's the exact
Another
same.
one. Need to think on this. My time with this and still disappointed. 2 people are saying 7 stars. Who are you guys?
I'm gonna.
She is so brave for publishing this.
The purple heart. I can't.
Well, people don't agree and people agree with our sentiments today, and perhaps you guys did. I am sorry if this wasn't really the episode you were expecting or like the outcome.
Yeah,
I know we sounded a little bit pessimistic today, but
we were pretty harsh,
this is
but we had to speak our truth.
yeah, we are diehard fantasy readers and we're just gonna speak the honest truth, even if it's brutal. So
I'm glad that we were aligned in most ways.
yeah.
Honestly, in all ways for this.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I wish that like I had more good things to say because I really, really enjoyed Fourth Wing.
Loved that book.
Like,
Yeah.
it had the potential to be so great.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I think I will continue to read this series is because I just have to know what happens.
Exactly.
And in that way, Rebecca, you're doing a great job. Like, you have made my relationship with this series so toxic that I
It's giving Zodiac Academy.
no, it is so my relationship with this series is so toxic that I will absolutely pick up the next book. I might even still go to the book release event for the next one because that was so fun this time.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be buying it though.
I won't be buying it.
Like
No book trophy for this one.
well, but unfortunately, now that I have one, I have to have the complete series.
You're so true. Yeah,
Anyways,
right.
whatever you want to call it, brainwash. I don't know.
Yeah.
You nailed that part.
Yeah.
You have a fan base or a following that is going to keep reading because this shit is so messy.
Yeah. It's a clusterfuck, and I just have to know what
Thank
happens.
you. Thank you for voicing that for me.
Yes. That's really all we have for you guys today.
Yeah.
We're more excited and have higher hopes for next week episode.
Yeah. We are having a Valentine's Day special. We are diving in to the deep end, you could say. We're going to be doing a a fun Allie Hazelwood themed episode where we're going to be talking about Deep End, her book that came out on February 4th.
Mhm.
And we're really excited for this one.
Yeah.
Optimistic that it can get Hannah out of her book slump.
Onyx Storm did not help.
Yeah, did not help. And I have a feeling that we're going to be having much nicer things to say. I need a great palate cleanser right now.
Yeah, it needs to be a romance too. So if you guys are feeling the same way after Onyx Storm, read Deep End before next episode. We were so happy to have you guys
Yeah.
on this possibly
Wild journey.
2-hour episode.
Yeah, the Onyx Storm content you didn't think that you needed and probably maybe didn't need, but here it is anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for joining us today. This is Check This Book Out podcast. I'm Madeline Bookout.
And I'm Hannah. You guys can follow along with us on Goodreads and our Instagram at Check This Book Out Pod, and we will see you guys next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.